Well, hello there and welcome to another video. A lot of videos recently. Just got these two beautiful Steelbook editions in the mail today. Game of Thrones seasons 3 and 4 in these gorgeous limited edition Steelbooks. If you haven't seen my video about the first two seasons, you can click on that right now. These come in twos, so seasons 1 and 2 were released a while back, and now we have seasons 3 and 4. I'm not quite sure when seasons 5 and 6 might be released because season 6 is just airing. It's almost over, in fact. By the way, no spoilers at all. Wasn't that last episode fucking amazing? Battle of the Bastards. That was an incredible episode in my opinion. I loved it. So satisfying. Anyway, we're going to take a closer look at these two. I'm going to unpackage these and talk a little bit about each season. So let's take a closer look, shall we? Here you go. Here's a closer look at season 3. This is the complete third season, a limited edition Steelbook Blu-ray with a collectible sigil magnet, just like the previous two. It also has Dolby Atmos sound, which is the highest sound format you can achieve right now. But you need special sound equipment to be able to listen to it. But even if you have old sound equipment, you can still listen to these. You just won't get the sort of full quality of the sound, but that's okay. This one has the twins. If you're not familiar with what the twins are the home of House Frey. In particular, a very, very horrible character called Walder Frey. I'm not going to go into exactly who he is or what he does, but if you've seen the show, you know he's a pretty despicable character indeed. On the back we have some information about the season and the bonus features. And they include The Reigns of Castamere Unveiled, Histories and Lore, Roots of Westeros, In-Episode Guide, A Gathering Storm, 12 audio commentaries, The Politics of Marriage, New Characters, Inside the Wildlings, and Deleted and Extended Scenes. I want to give a real shout out to the Histories and Lore section of these Blu-rays because they're really amazing. I have a book called The History of Ice and Fire, which is a great compliment to the show. But even if you're not into sort of reading books about the history and lore and, you know, the backstories and the world of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire, the Histories and Lore section of the special features is really cool. It's kind of an animated presentation of certain houses, certain locations, certain races, everything you need to really get a grasp on sort of the vastness of this world, because it is a very vast and well-detailed world. There are a lot of characters, a lot of houses, a lot of things to just kind of wrap your head around, and I think that's part of the appeal of the show. It feels like a really well thought out and realized world. I'm going to open this one up and we're going to have a closer look at the Steelbook and the sigil magnet. There we go. This is season 3 unwrapped. As always, incredibly beautiful Steelbooks, just lovely, and you get sigil magnet with every season, meaning you can actually lift this right off and put it on your fridge if you want to, or display it as is with or without the magnet. And there's this hollow sort of debossed section here where you can place the magnet. Right there, the sigil of the twins, the twin fort where House Frey rules. There's a closer look at the back. There we go, section of the map. I think it's really cool that the intro for Game of Thrones is animated, of course. Shows a section of the map and this sky wheel. What's the word I'm looking for? I'll look it up. But the thing I never quite noticed about it is not only do you see the sort of relevant locations for the episode, I noticed that pretty quickly, but it also takes place inside an orb. So it's not the outside of a planet, you're actually traveling inside an orb, kind of a planetoid, which I think is really cool. Anyway, we'll open this one up. As before, this one has 5 discs, I believe. I think you've got 2 on the left and 3 on the right there. I'll also lift these out so you can get a look at the inside. There we are. That's a look at the inside of this steelbook. If you look very closely there, you can actually see the twins, the twin fort, one on the left and one over on the right there, joined by a bridge. Very nicely done, lifted straight from the introduction sequence, I think. In my opinion, Season 3 is a very strong season overall. It begins to introduce new characters, new themes. I think this was the season that introduced the wildlings, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure, of course, that this was the season with the infamous Reigns of Castamere episode, which was a very defining episode for the show. It's the kind of episode that really, it shocks the viewer, but I think it also it really sort of cemented the sort of tone of Game of Thrones in a way. I think that's kind of a turning point for a lot of viewers. If you make it through Season 3, you're either going to be so hooked that you have to see the rest of the show, or you're probably just going to stop watching in abject horror. You know, it's that kind of season, but I think it's a wonderful show. It's tough to watch sometimes. It gets very dramatic, very violent, but it's highly, highly entertaining. I love that they don't pull any punches, and George R.R. Martin really based the novels on what life might have entailed in the Middle Ages. It's just that because of the dragons, which is very interesting. I'll link a video about that. They haven't been able to progress, so they're sort of stuck in the Middle Ages, which is also very interesting. Anyway, a very lovely steelbook, very nicely done. You can actually see the twins on top there on the left and right. A nice piece of symmetry, in my opinion. And a nice little sigil magnet. So that's Season 3. Let's have a look at Season 4 as well. Alright, so this is your Season 4, Game of Thrones, the complete 4th season, on another limited edition Blu-ray steelbook with a collectible sigil magnet, and of course Dolby Atmos sound. They made a little mistake on this one. It says 4 discs on this little sticker here. That's because they messed it up. It actually says 5 discs underneath there, so they had to print out a sticker and place it on there because this season only has 4 discs. Anyway, nice edition here. You've got the wall, and this is very unique because it actually has the sigil of the Night's Watch, which is very nice. It even has part of their oath, which is I am the sword in the darkness, I am the watcher on the wall. That's just a small part of it, but very nice indeed. I like this a lot. Alright, there's some information on the back for you. Bonus features include Behind the Battle for the Wall, The Fallen, a round table, Histories and Lore, in-episode guide, The Politics of Power, a look back at Season 3, which is interesting because this is Season 4. 11 audio commentaries, Bastards of Westeros, very relevant to us now. New characters and locations, deleted scenes, and a Season 4 blooper reel. So that's very nice. I can't quite recall if the other seasons had blooper reels. I'm not really sure. As before, we will open this one up and have a look inside. There we are, Season 4. Very, very nicely done, I must say. I love the way they've done this because you can see the wall in the background stretching all the way up. If you're not familiar with the show, the wall is the northernmost protection against the evil forces of the north. There are a lot of evil creatures that roam in the north, called the White Walkers, among others, and wildlings, a kind of wild, untethered folk. And it's essentially sort of a working prison, part military complex, part prison, but a group of men called the Night's Watch guard over the realms of men in the north, and the wall is their sort of final outpost against all evil. Once again, just want to have a look at that sigil. You can see the word darkness there. The R is sort of sort of a mess, but that's okay. Still very, very nicely done overall. It's not quite perfect, but I can live with that. It's a very unique season, just in the way it's been packaged, because not only does it have this sigil, which is shaped like a shield, kind of a banner, it also doesn't have anything in particular underneath. Most of them actually have the actual sigil underneath as well, but this doesn't have that at all. So very, very cool. Nicely done indeed. I'm a big fan of The Wall, The Night's Watch, and Jon Snow. And I think his story is very fascinating, and it's been particularly fascinating in seasons 5 and 6. But I won't spoil any specifics about that. Anyway, we're going to have a look at the back. Alright, there's the back of the steelbook. You've just got the wall. It just kind of stretches on there, but still very nice. If you open this up, you'll actually get a nice piece of symmetry, I think. I like how they've done the spines here too. I think the spines for seasons 3 and 4 look a little bit different. I don't remember seasons 1 and 2 having this actual opening title design. I think they looked a little different. I'm not quite sure, but I'll have a look at that later. Anyway, we'll open this up as well. There you are. There are your discs for Game of Thrones, the complete 4th season. With this one, you only have 4 discs, so 2 on each side. And we'll lift those out and have a look. There you go. That's the inside of Game of Thrones, the complete 4th season. That's actually the elevator, if you can call it that, or lift, that goes up to the top of the wall, I think. Pretty sure that's what we're seeing there. And again, I think it's straight out of the opening credits. Very nicely done. Alright, a few words on Season 4, then I'll wrap this up. Alright, Game of Thrones Season 4 is probably my favorite overall season of the show. It has a lot going on in it. There's just a lot going on in this season. That was very dramatic, very pleasing, very horrible, there's a lot to go into in this season. You've got a wedding episode which was written by George R.R. Martin himself. After that episode aired, I remember he went to his Twitter and he tweeted out 2 words, "You're welcome." If you know the episode, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I just thought that was so perfect. There's just a lot. There's the Battle of the Wall. There is a lot of things going on in this season. I think it's really it's a very high-paced season. There's a lot happening. It doesn't slow down a lot, and I really like that. Even though Game of Thrones is actually more of a plot-driven show, it's actually based more on intrigue than it is on outright action. I do like when things pick up and get really dark and serious and intense, and this is one of those seasons where almost every episode just kind of knocked you over the head. Things just keep on happening, and I really, really like that. So even though every season clearly has amazing episodes, I'm not going to debate that at all, and every season is very strong, including season 6 has been really, really good. I think season 4 is probably my overall favorite season so far. Every single season is well worth seeing, and every season has these amazing episodes. I mean, at least a couple of episodes every season that are just astoundingly amazing. And the last one aired, The Battle of the Bastards, was one of those episodes. When that episode was over, I quite literally sat up, laughed, put my hands together, and applauded. So that tells you how wonderful that episode was, in my opinion. Anyway, this has been a look at 2 of these steelbooks for Game of Thrones, Seasons 3 and 4. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not quite sure when Seasons 5 and 6 are going to come out. I hope it's soon, but I'm guessing it's going to take a while because Season 6 hasn't even, finished airing yet. My hope is that when they release Season 6 on Blu-ray, it'll sort of coincide with Seasons 5 and 6 in Steelbook editions. That's kind of a dream of mine, but we'll see. I don't know. So it might be a couple of months to a year. I don't know. Shouldn't be too long, I hope. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. And by all means, if you haven't seen my video for Seasons 1 and 2, click on the screen right now and check it out. Alright, take care, guys. Bye.